The worst one.
Governor Palin, here's another question. What would you do to increase American oil production?
Oh, you shouldn't have asked me that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't go on all day about it. Yeah, to sum it up, drill, baby, drill, and mine, baby, mine. You know what we need to do, though, in more detail? We need to start educating the public on what the fracking process is, and help people realize that the natural gas that is far, 5,000 feet underground in a lot of areas, that with responsible casing, if we hold the natural gas companies, the drillers, responsible for the safe casing, we won't disrupt the water table in a negative way. We can frack, get out of these rocks the natural gas that is clean, it's green, it's sitting there waiting to be used. Oil and gas is in such abundant supply in the United States of America. Coal is also, and all of the above energy policy that it embraces renewables, of course, and conservation, but the conventional sources of energy that are sitting here untapped, it's ridiculous that we have not tapped into them. But it all comes down to drill, baby, drill, mine, baby, mine.
Excellent. Now, with the economy being such a hot topic, and there's so many different the tax codes in discussion, and we already know the statistics with who pays what and who actually does pay the fair share. What are your views on the tax system, and which do you prefer, a fair or a flat tax?
Oh, we definitely need to reform, and it's good to hear the discussion on both the fair and the flat. One basically would tax consumption, and the other, though, if you consider that all Americans are equal, I think we should all be paying a fair and equal rate of taxes. Either one is much better than the 60,000 pages of an IRS tax code that we have to deal with today. It's imperative that this tax code is reformed quickly and wisely. Otherwise, again, more and more jobs will be sent overseas to places that are more tax-friendly, more economically doable for small businesses especially, that are trying to expand, yet realizing that with government having a thumb over them because of this complicated and burdensome tax code that isn't fair to the people of America, the reform needs to be taking place quickly. And I do appreciate that some of our candidates for president, Herman Cain, he comes out specifically with his 999 program. And the other candidates too, I'm sure will start articulating in more detail what their tax reform plans are, because all of them, all in the GOP, understand that we can't keep going down this road with this onerous IRS 67,000 page tax code that hits all of us and makes absolutely no sense.
Governor Palin, monetary policy, what would you do to adjust it or change it?
Well, one thing that I wish that we were not engaged in monetary policy is devaluing our dollar through QE2. It's going to be QE3, QE4. And when Dana, I talked to her earlier, and Dana's got kids, and I thought, a good way to explain a lot of the reforms that we need in this country is to keep it simple and talk about in our own family lives what it is that we do as we try to find solutions to problems. Obviously right now, inflation's on the horizon if we continue to devalue our dollar, our currency. So an analogy that I like to use that families can appreciate is, with my 5 kids, if they're sitting around the breakfast table and they all want milk in their cereal, I go to the fridge, get the milk out, there's just a little bit of milk left, so I pour a bunch of water in the milk jug, right? Did I just create more milk? No, I watered it down. I devalued a valuable product. That's what we're doing when we're manipulating our currency by printing more and more money out of thin air. We're just devaluing our dollar. That's going to lead to inflation. So monetary policy cannot continue to include the devaluing of our dollar through quantitative easing. And I've heard over and over again, oh, politicians can't talk like that because you can't politicize the Fed. Well, who is it who appoints these Fed officials to make the decisions? The president, the politician. So you need a president who understands that quantitative easing, continuing down that path, in devaluing the dollar is not the answer. The answer, of course, is making sure that we have a pro-growth, pro-jobs agenda in this country. You do that by lessening tax burdens and regulations that are killing industry. You get government out of the way so that the private sector can grow and can thrive and can start churning out the jobs.
Love it. I received this question from so many ladies in our audience. You have taken so much heat from the mainstream media. Your lovely daughter, Bristol, this viral video was attacked by this verbally abusive progressive. What do you tell your family to give them strength during times like this? What keeps your family so strong?
That's a good question. We keep everything in perspective because, you know, my faith is my rock, and you know, people who go through much, much tougher things than